our Executive Vice President, Group Communications and Marketing, Interswitch, Dr. Cherry Eromosele.
The Interswitch brand has evolved over the years, and as much as possible, we've been trying to tell our stories.
But the story we are trying to say here is that we are the technology enabler of Africa.
Sometimes in life, in order to move forward, you have to look back. And that's what I'm just here to do.
Today is not about product and services. Today is about the brand.
You have to look back. 2015 was a turning point where, in line with the aspirations of the business for the future, we refreshed our brand, and that came with a new campaign. So I'm going to take you through 4 generations of campaigns that we have launched before getting to this stage in 2025. Roll tape.
Trust Interswitch, because we are convinced that it takes more than money to make the world go round. Interswitch, transaction solutions you can depend on.
As things evolved in the market, as our business evolved, new perspectives continue to emerge. And we took a view that, a company like Interswitch, with the breadth and the depth we have, we're able to help our customers, partners see the big picture. So the next campaign premise was seeing beyond the big picture.
Penicillin, ethanol, flour, sugar, glue, whiskey. You need an innovative payment solutions partner that creates value from the obvious and sees opportunity in the not so obvious.
Interswitch, transaction solutions you can depend on.
This carried us for about 4 years until 2022, when the business was getting to a very important milestone. It was a time of creative conflict. It was a time of flux in the business. I remember we sat in the boardroom in Building 1 with a number of our partners who took a very, very dispassionate view and asked, what is the real benefit or value of being 20 in fintech? So it was a question of Interswitch. Why should your 20 years matter? It was a point of epiphany and reinvention.
Our story blooms over 2 decades ago. We stretched out our hands, and remember what we did? We flipped the switch.
The Interswitch brand has evolved over the years, and as much as possible, we've been trying to tell our stories. Tell our stories in a way that everyone that we do interact with can relate to. For us at Interswitch, we have always believed that technology is not at its best unless it's a seamless part of everyday life. When it works so well that what you remember isn't the platform, but the possibilities it created and the moment it enabled. Every scene you're about to see is anchored in a moment that matters. The kind of moments we all recognize and the kind we often take for granted, because they are powered by technology that Interswitch provides. That's what makes it special. So as the light dims and the screen comes to life, I would like to invite you to look beyond the surface and instead focus on how Interswitch truly powers the moment that matters.
Money. We see it move. We see it move swiftly, securely, intelligently. But by itself, money has no meaning.
Technology doesn't make meaning until it impacts life. We will continue to take a bet on human connection. That is one thing that Interswitch would double down on.
At Interswitch, Africa is important to us. It's expressed through solutions, it's expressed through technology, but at the heart of it, it is the firm belief that yes, Africa has problems, but only Africans can solve Africa's problems.
One of the concerns we had was this was happening in 2 locations across Africa. You can hardly tell this was a Nigerian scene, this is an ex-Nigerian scene. So that for us was that excellent moment to say, look, we cracked this.
I wouldn't truly say much without giving thanks, to those who made it, believable, who are the actors, the directors. Having a narrative is different, but transferring that narrative into picture is something else.
In this era of AI and Interswitch as a digital company, one would have expected that Interswitch will be going for more of AI when it comes to campaigns like this. I would like to know, why did you decide to go for a traditional filmmaking that involves human, which will rather cost you more money?
But the goal of technology is to improve the human condition. Our focus at Interswitch is improving the human condition through technology. So the communication, everything ties to that philosophy. We build technology, we build AI solutions, but it all culminates in improving the human condition. That's why we took the effort, we took the time, we took the extra resources to ensure that came through in our story.
Why did Interswitch, decided to go for, emotional storytelling instead of promoting its products?
At this point in time, we felt it was important to part the curtains and humanize technology. You know that when you make a payment, most likely it's a platform enabled by Interswitch. But we wanted to go beyond that and to tell a story about how Interswitch enables the moments that matter, how we power the moments that matter.
The moments might be in payments, they might be in healthcare, they might be in energy, they might be in education. The story we are trying to say here is that behind the scenes, we are powering the moments that matter across Africa through technology.
While we're doing all this, we have only one simple vision. We just want to make Africa proud. We want to show that Africans can also do great things.
At Interswitch, we never stop. This is just the beginning. We will never stop developing innovative solutions. We will never stop humanizing our brands.
Interswitch. Never stop.